The claim that a judge fined former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi for wearing a cross necklace in court and then became awestruck by her legal brilliance is a compelling narrative, but it's also entirely fabricated. No reputable source confirms such an incident ever occurred, and multiple independent fact-checking sites have confirmed it's nothing more than a viral fiction. Let's break down the elements of the story and examine what's real and what's not. The alleged courtroom incident. The original story often circulates in video form across platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, sometimes with dramatic thumbnails and emotionally charged headlines such as, "Christian lawyer silenced for her faith." Then this happens. These videos portray a scene in which Pam Bondi enters a courtroom wearing a visible cross necklace. The presiding judge, referred to as Judge Prescott, a name with no confirmed relation to any real federal or state judge, supposedly reprimands and fines her for wearing a religious symbol, suggesting a violation of courtroom neutrality or decorum. Later in the same dramatized account, Bondi gives a legally brilliant argument in defense of her client, or herself, depending on the version of the tale. This claim that Pam Bondi was fined by a judge for wearing a cross necklace in court, and then allegedly impressed the courtroom with her legal brilliance, is a compelling narrative, but it is completely fictional. This story is not based on any verified event, legal record, or newsworthy incident. Instead, it is a viral fabrication designed to appear dramatic and emotionally stirring, often shared on social media platforms or obscure video channels without any supporting evidence. To begin with, there is no record in any reputable news outlet, national or local, documenting such an event involving Pam Bondi. A thorough search across major news databases and public court records turns up no such confrontation, no judicial fine, and no cross-examination resulting in Bondi dazzling a courtroom with legal prowess. In short, this never happened. The narrative typically appears in video format, often through YouTube channels that specialize in fictional courtroom tales, with titles like Elite Stories or Judgment Day. These videos may appear polished and even include courtroom graphics, dramatic music, or AI-generated voiceovers and images, giving an illusion of authenticity. However, most of these channels in the age of instant information, viral content can capture the attention of millions within hours. Stories like, Judge finds Pam Bondi for wearing a cross, then uncovers her legal brilliance, often spread rapidly online, even though they are entirely fictional. But why do these stories gain such traction despite being false? The answer lies in a combination of emotional appeal, visual persuasion, political climate, and digital manipulation. 1. Emotional triggers and moral themes. At the heart of the Pam Bondi story is a powerful emotional theme: religious freedom being challenged, and then vindicated. This taps into deeply held beliefs among many viewers, particularly those who value religious expression and feel it is under threat. The narrative of someone being punished for wearing a cross, only to rise above and display legal brilliance, creates a compelling underdog storyline. People are more likely to share stories that resonate with their values or provoke strong emotional responses, especially outrage, pride, or inspiration. These emotions override rational skepticism and make the content feel urgent and important to share with others, regardless of its factual accuracy. 2. Visually persuasive, AI-generated videos. Modern disinformation isn't limited to text. Many of the fake courtroom stories are paired with videos that use sophisticated artificial intelligence to generate realistic-looking people, voices, and even courtroom settings. In today's digital age, false narratives, especially those featuring public figures like Pam Bondi, can spread rapidly across social media platforms, YouTube, and even messaging apps. Despite clear evidence that stories like, Judge finds Pam Bondi for wearing a cross, then uncovers her legal brilliance, are completely fictional, they continue to captivate and mislead millions. But why do these fabricated tales gain so much traction? Let's break down the psychological, technological, and cultural forces that make these stories go viral. 1. Emotional engagement triggers sharing. One of the most powerful drivers of viral content is emotion. When people read a story that evokes strong feelings, such as anger, pride, outrage, or inspiration, they are more likely to share it. The Bondi courtroom tale hits several emotional notes. Religious persecution, being fined for wearing a cross. A dramatic reversal, Bondi's legal brilliance being revealed. A perceived win for conservative values. These elements appeal to audiences who feel their values. In today's digital age, misinformation spreads faster than ever, and the story of Judge finds Pam Bondi for wearing a cross, then uncovers her legal brilliance, is a perfect example. Despite being entirely fictional, this narrative gained significant attention online, shared by thousands across social media platforms and video sharing sites. But why do stories like this, which have no basis in fact, become so popular and widely believed? 1. Emotional appeal and outrage. The first reason is emotional manipulation. Fictional stories like this are crafted specifically to trigger strong emotional reactions, particularly outrage, inspiration, or a sense of justice being served. The idea that a patriotic American woman, wearing a Christian symbol, could be fined in court for her beliefs strikes a nerve with many people. It taps into broader social tensions involving freedom of religion, government overreach, and perceived attacks on traditional values. When people feel personally connected to a narrative, they are more likely to share it without questioning its authenticity. This type of emotional appeal bypasses critical thinking. Instead of evaluating the story's plausibility, many react immediately, hitting the share button out of anger or support. That reaction helps the content go viral. 2. The power of video and AI-generated content. Another key factor is how convincing modern media has become. The videos accompanying these stories are often visually compelling, using realistic courtroom settings, actors, or even AI-generated avatars to deliver the narrative. Some even include news-like intros, dramatic background music, and scripted dialogue to mimic legitimate journalism. AI-generated voices and visuals have become so advanced that to the untrained eye, these videos may appear real. Add in slick editing, dramatic storytelling, and emotional performances, and the result is a piece of content that feels authentic, even though it's pure fiction. Some of these videos even include disclaimers saying they're for entertainment purposes only, but these messages are often subtle, easy to miss, or displayed only briefly. Viewers who don't notice the disclaimer may assume the story is real, especially if the video is shared by someone they trust. 3. Confirmation bias and echo chambers. People are naturally inclined to believe information that aligns with their existing beliefs, a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias. If someone already believes that religious freedom is under attack or that the justice system is biased against conservatives, they may see this story as confirmation of what they already know. Social media algorithms worsen this effect by reinforcing echo chambers. If someone frequently engages with politically or religiously themed content, they're more likely to be shown similar videos. Over time, this creates a feedback loop, where users see only content that affirms their views, making fictional stories seem more credible. 4. Lack of media literacy. A significant part of the problem lies in the lack of digital literacy among internet users. Many people simply haven't been taught how to spot a fake story or verify sources. When faced with a professional-looking video or emotionally charged article, they don't take the extra steps to check if it's been reported by reputable news outlets. Clickbait headlines also contribute to the confusion. Titles like, Judge finds Pam Bondi for wearing a cross, then uncovers her legal brilliance, are crafted to grab attention, regardless of truth. When users see such a headline paired with a dramatic thumbnail, they assume it must be based on a real event. 5. Monetization and engagement incentives. Finally, it's important to understand that creators of these fictional stories often profit from their virality. Platforms like YouTube and Facebook reward content that receives high engagement. The more views, likes, comments, and shares a post gets, the more money its creator earns, either through ad revenue, brand partnerships, or affiliate links. For many of these creators, truth is secondary to virality. If a fictional story is likely to generate outrage or admiration, it becomes a product designed to exploit human emotion and algorithmic engagement, ultimately turning fiction into profit. In short, the spread of false stories like the Pam Bondi courtroom tale is driven by a perfect storm: emotional manipulation, high-tech visual production, confirmation bias, limited media literacy, and financial incentives. As long as these factors remain in play, viral fiction will continue to masquerade as fact, and it's up to all of us to stay vigilant.